Hey everybody, Lavelia here. Want to come to you with a message. Moved. Um, you almost have to be under a rock if you do not know what's going on in the world today. Um, Federal employees are still not getting a paycheck. What day are we on? Day 21. 3 weeks going into the fourth week. And recently, I read the latest update is that these workers may not get their back pay. So, what does that mean? Even if the shutdown was to end tomorrow, these workers will not get the back pay from the 3 weeks they didn't work. We're in different times. I mean, imagine you being told all your life, ooh, get that federal job. You know, if you got a federal job, you in like job with the United States Postal Service. And they're not being affected by the shutdown. So, of course, you're still getting your mail and they're still getting their paychecks. But he also worked for TSA. And I know for certain they're not getting their pay. Um, and so, but now he's in private industry. And, you know, a lot of times I can think back when he had that job, you know, how much he depended on his paycheck. And, I was always someone who was in his ear that danced to the beat of a different drum. And I never believed, for some reason, I never forget, once I got enlightened in terms of my financial learning, education, reading on things, that I knew that what we have been sold as Americans, go to school, get a job, play it safe. If you're not in private industry, if you can't get a good job in private industry, your safest bet is to get a federal and state job, and you are good until retirement. Those days are over. I was at my church earlier this morning, um, and found out that one of the members, who is an FBI agent, he is being affected by the shutdown. And of course, since he's an essential employee, he still has to show up, but he's not getting paid. I can't stress enough, the cheese has moved. SNAP benefits, that has to do with food stamps, are still up in the air, in regards to if people are going to get them. And so, like I said in my video yesterday, last year when I did a video about, and your credit is all related to your income. And what did I mean by that? As long as you got income coming in, it's easy to be out of debt. It's easy to stay out of debt. It's easy to pay your credit cards off. But if that job is taken away and you don't have no other forms of income coming in, you have no residual income, you don't have a side business income, you don't have no leveraged income, you don't have no rental income coming in, you don't have no portfolio income coming in. The only income you have coming into is that job, where you are going to be back in debt, because many of those same people are now saying that they now have to resort to credit cards, lines of credit, loans from their bank to be able to survive. Recently, my cousin. I have a lot of family who work for the federal government because they live in the DC, Maryland area and Virginia, Northern Virginia area. And a cousin of mine just said on Facebook today, or maybe it was yesterday, wow, I can't believe I still didn't get a paycheck. Like that's sad, man. I mean, it's real out there. I mean, it is thought how the world was supposed to go. It's never going to be that way. Like, if you really think, I saw on the post where somebody shared about the SNAP benefits, and it was a flyer, and if you read the comments on there, people were actually like, please give Donald Trump his wall so I can get my SNAP benefits. Like, this is much bigger than Donald Trump getting a wall. I mean, even if he was to get his wall, the world as we know it has changed. If the world hasn't changed, then why is it that all these brink of failure or bankruptcy? Because the world as we know it, the industrial industry is gone. And many people, yesterday I had someone who commented on my video and said that only certain individuals should get welfare. And the only reason why I can't stand behind that statement is because we would have to revamp the whole education system in this country. And unfortunately, we still have an education system that teaches individuals work hard, get good grades, graduate from school, go to college, get into debt, work a job to pay off that debt, and continue to stay on the rat wheel. That is still being preached today. You still have family, you still have mothers and fathers who are happy that their children is graduating from college are graduating from high school to go to college. I have nothing against college. For those who should go and want to go. If there's a way that you can do it debt free, which you can, do it that way. But to push a child into college and saying the way you're going to go is with loans, and don't even know the type of loans that you're pushing that child into. People still don't know the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized loans on a federal level. They still don't know the difference between a private and a federal loan. So to tell a child to go to school, don't even worry about it, get these student loans, you literally are pushing individuals into a cycle of debt and poverty. And that's why I said I couldn't stand behind that statement, because there are some people who need those welfare benefits, and although they're able-bodied, they're just making ends meet. I mean, what was social services industry, and and they got over $100,000 of debt. I mean, it's mathematically impossible to even pay it off. I mean, have you all seen the interest accumulate on this? I saw a news clip out of family in ATL. The husband. You know what? Somebody was saying, a commenter about the air traffic controller. Yeah, my husband came across that segment too. He told me the same thing. Yes, yes. And the thing about Georgia, and I don't laugh at that situation. Georgia is not a judicial state. And what that means is, it is not like New Jersey and New York, where New Jersey and New York, and the only reason why I can speak on those states because I live in New Jersey. Okay, you're in Georgia, top elite. And what that means is the foreclosure process is fast. It's not like New Jersey and New York where you could save yourself some time. It's New Jersey and New York are homestead states. Pennsylvania is not. Pennsylvania is another state that borders New Jersey. It is not. So that's why I did not speak Pennsylvania. Yes, top elite auto said it. You're right. In Georgia, it is fast. Foreclosure starts, there you go. I mean, I, you, it's a sad case. And so there you go. I mean, like I said, in New Jersey and New York, you buy yourself some time because the lender cannot foreclose as fast. But in states like Georgia, so yeah, my husband came across that segment. Yeah, and said that the mortgage company is not, they're not, they like it's due. And do you know that other bill that was trying to get passed, the one lenders, finance companies, mortgage companies do not have the ability to I don't want to say harass, but the bill to give federal workers relief from yeah, Top Auto Elite. Yeah, that's my understanding of how and get tax liens. Don't work like that in New Jersey. They're not doing nothing on no court steps. It don't work like that in New York. There is a process. And even if you get and I believe Georgia is a tax deed state, whereas New Jersey and New York are tax lien states. What that means is you can buy the lien certificate, and 18 to 24 months. Yes, okay, so I was right. It's a tax deed state. The New Jersey and New York Georgia's tax deed. New Jersey and New York are tax liens. You can buy the certificate. You cannot proceed to redeem the property until 18 to 24 months. And even if you start, the homeowner still has ability. Remember, New Jersey is a homestead state, that they can still get possession of their home back as long as they pay. So a lot of different rules from state to state. And that's why, I do these videos to inform people. Now that the cheese is moving, they have 1 year and 3 days, or they give you 20% back. That's how does that work? 1 year, 3 days? Like, I'm confused. How does that work? You buy, because I'm thinking if you already have the possession of the deed, what's the 1 year and the 3 days? I'm confused with that. Like I said, I'm not from Georgia. Don't really know their laws in regards to real estate and tax deeds. But how does that work? Please do share. How does that work? Now that the cheese is moving, a lot of good points are being made. You need to know the laws of your state. Like I said, people fought me last year when I talked about getting more income for yourself. But please tell me, what's a person to do? I'm out of work. I've exhausted my emergency savings plan. Do y'all not see that the system is broken? Like, I mean, do you not see that the system is broken? Some of your president supporters are actually here. I actually am in the town of one of Trump's properties. So as I look over to my right, I see some of the supporters. Every Saturday as I do this live, it's Saturday. The supporters come because you got the people, the opposing views. So they come to picket and do whatever they do. And then you have his supporters. So every Saturday here in my town, same town that one of his properties are in, his supporters are here. So I was looking over because it's the same people every week. So there you have it. But a lot of changes, man. That the cheese has moved. The cheese has moved. And like I said, nobody didn't want to hear from me. Like I said, learn how this financial system works on a micro and macro level, because there are people who are thriving, you know. How can you work hard? Trigger Wolf, I mean, it's like I just said. It's an archaic model. It doesn't exist. That is the reason why you can be literally one check from financial ruin. Like I said, don't take my word for it. Do some research. See what happened in August 1974 under the leadership of President Nixon. See what happened. Read some books and understand what happened under his leadership. What happened to... Okay, so Top Elite was saying with the tax deeds, he can buy the house, and if the homeowners reach out to him, if they pay the money, they can get back control of the home. It really is that how it works in Jersey? I mean, in Georgia. So literally, the individuals don't really, those who buy those tax deeds, they really are not the owners of them, meaning that the other owner who did own it can come back. Okay, so I'm assuming 20,000 is what you bought the house for, bought the deed for, because I don't know, you say this. Okay, so you bought it for 20, and the 20 and the I guess the interest is the interest on the taxes owed, so they have to pay you all that. So what do you, is it, what type of deed do you have? Sam, you're giving an example. So I mean, but what kind of, so that you really don't have full deed possession? Do you have full deed possession? That's what I'm wondering. Because I was not aware to be one check away from financial ruin. Okay, I don't know what that means. Unroll. I don't think that's a word. Unroll. I'm sorry. It's not a word. Unroll. Enroll. An unroll. Yeah, going back to what I said, understand what happened when Nixon made the US dollar debt. That's why people say, oh, the US dollar is worthless, this, that, and the other. I mean, yeah, I get it. I understand all that fiat currency stuff. But at the end of the day, the US dollar, it can pay some rent, can buy some food. Because if that was the case, the government workers would be like, well, I don't, the US dollar is worthless, so I don't care about a paycheck. So that's why I said, I always say that conversation is really, you you take it with a grain of salt, because until the exchange of goods and services is not used with dollars, at the end of the day, you need... Connection was bad. Yeah, I guess I was trying to say, do you really have full possession of the deed? So that's all I have for you today. Kind of wanted to recap on some of the stuff that I'm seeing, but I will continue doing what I'm doing. Yes, the ripple effect. I'm in Chicago. Education, Mike. Mike said he has 10,000. He wants to buy liens. Education, because from what I hear, California is a high cost state like New Jersey. You can't do much with 10,000. with tax liens in New Jersey. You may can do a little something, but you can't do much. So I would start with education. Tax liens is not something I know a lot of, so I don't want to give no advice on that. But if you have the 10,000, I would at least get some education. I'm big on education. Most people, they kind of want to wing it. I don't like education with going to pay. You know, um, 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 you know, I pity the fool who thinks they're not going to pay. You're going to either pay with your mistake, going to pay with money. So that's why you will always hear me say education, 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 pay, whatever you have to do, pay a person, pay a course, pay a book, but you have to pay. If not, you're gonna pay, with experience. So, it is what it is. Like I said, I would start there. I would start with education and see what you could do, because like I know a few months ago, back in September. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, get the education. Something I want to get into is note buying. One of the facilitators there that talked about note buying, he's from Florida. He also has a class on tax liens. And so I was saying that to say something. Um I know I don't know a lot. I don't know nothing about it. Mistakes, or you are going to pay for education. I would take at least 2,000 of that dollars, of that money, and pay for the education and save yourself the heartache. I wouldn't just jump in. And that's with anything. People think that I just be telling people to just tell them, but I know I only tell people what I do, you know. But there's people who kind of just want it for free. I respect people's expertise. I respect their time, and I don't come from a place of entitlement. I think now, for a lot of people, we live in the time whereas people think just because people know something, and although it's readily available on the internet, that the people who know it, are supposed to just give their time away for free and sit down and show people stuff, you know, um, one-on-one. And that's just not how life is. If you feel like the stuff is readily and is free on the internet, by all means, take advantage of it. But don't try to spend energy convincing other people that, like I said, people who have that mindset, they don't go far. They don't. You will find them a year later. Um, that's what people say. That the game is, yeah, the game is to be sold and not told. And I don't really like that's saying, because we live in a day and time now, nobody got to sell you on nothing. The information is there. It's there. So if you want it to be told to you, it's there. It's in the books. It's in info products. It's on videos. The only reason why you pay is so someone who already has success in a particular area, no matter what it is, can hold your hand and help you to avoid making the mistakes. That's it. Is that you're able to leverage their shortfalls. Their shortfalls. That's really all it is. And some people just want the okay that, because I know for myself, I pay because I am looking to leverage someone's expertise. I pay because I want to be able to ask them intricate questions without me just sitting there and reading something like, oh, I wonder how this works. I'd rather go to someone that I know who've already been through it and just ask them and know that, they have my best interest at heart. And they're willing, they're willing to really help, because I don't come from a place thinking, oh, if I pay them, oh, they trying to get me. They trying to get me. They just want to take my money. They ain't going to tell me nothing. I don't come from that place. So the fact that, I have a lot of insurance knowing that if I pay someone, I'm going to get something out of it. Like, I know that for certain. And a lot of times what you're looking to get out of it, it may not even come the way you want it to come. It can come a totally different way. But at the end of the day, you're getting something out of it. And that's why I think one time I did a video. Yes, that's what, I couldn't see the person's name, but I think that's what D. Yeah. Des 619 was saying. Exactly. Don't make as many mistakes. That's why I said you're either going to pay one way or the other. You're either going to pay with mistakes or you're going to pay with money. But I find it odd that people don't want to make no mistakes. They don't want to pay no money. And they figure, oh, thank you so much. RB or KB? Yeah, RB. Thank you so much. Like, I mean, life isn't just like that. That's just like, when a baby learns how to walk. What do? You allow the baby to fall. You allow the baby to stumble. You let that baby, figure it out. But for some reason, people feel like when they want to learn something new, they don't want to stumble. They don't want to fall. And I get it. And if you don't want to, you got to pay. So I get it when you don't want all those things. So that's why I said, that's why I pay, because I don't want to fall as much. I know I got to fall, but I don't want to fall that much. So I have enough confidence in knowing that this person could really help me. Because as you're on your journey with anything in life, that one person is not the solely only person who is going to help you in any endeavor. I mean, it's the same way with me with credit. I don't expect me to be the end all, to be all. As you progress, up the financial ladder with learning, you're going to come across a whole bunch of different people. That's just how life is. Like with me with this, when I start learning about notes, I know who I'm going to start with, but as my journey continue, I know that person's not going to be the only person that I'm learning from. The reason why I know this, because that's how it has been, at least with me, with any endeavor that I have embarked on. Whatever I wanted to learn, I may have started with that one person, but as my progression, moved up, I met other people. Like for myself with credit, I know I work with consumers, and I work with individuals who are new to learning and navigating on understanding how credit works. So if a person comes to me and they say they're a credit, they know everything about credit, I'm not for you then. If you feel like you know everything that it has to do with credit and there's nothing else you can learn, I'm not your girl. Because I'm clear on who I work with, who wants to learn from me. Because that person who feels like they know everything about credit, ain't nothing you can tell them, there's somebody else for them. And that's everything in life, So, and I just feel like for me, that's just an easier outlook to have, because the energy that it takes, thinking what people supposed to do. Oh, this, and it's wasted energy. It's wasted energy, especially now what's going on. Like, man, oh man, like, I digress. But I really enjoy these YouTube lives and talking to you all, but I must go. I have calls to make and money to obtain, because money is still moving. Money is still circulating. And those who don't like my conversations about how I feel about money are those who don't have any. RILLIABP @gmail.com. After this video processes, I'll put the email underneath the video. Again, LORILLIA, B as in boy, P as in Peter, @gmail.com. So like I said, money's still circulating. Did sell. Ain't nothing changed. Unfortunately, some people are hurting with the government shutdown, but things are moving. And I shall be sharing my stories and experiences with you all. So hopefully you are taking part in the financial prosperity that is before you, because it is happening and it is around. It's all in who you want to tune yourself into. Tune into. You can either tune into doom and gloom, or you can tune into financial prosperity. I myself, I prefer to tune into financial prosperity. Until the next video, please like, share, comment. You're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell, and I will